So it's been a bit longer than I expected, but this is an update on where I'm at with the Future Everything This Place of Mine commission. Manchester has constantly gone to different restriction levels with COVID, meaning that the entire project has now gone digital, which inevitably has meant that there's been a few technical issues. This means that the project now won't finish until next year. That's not stopped the workshops being successful though. The young producers have been attending weekly workshops talking about their places, how they are today, how they would like them to be tomorrow, and how creative practitioners can use art and technology to make changes. There seems to be a consensus among the young producers from across the region that the High Street isn't a space for them. Usually going there means spending money. They are these bland places that lack colour and nature and things that they want to see in their spaces. I am specifically going to be working with two young men called Samuel and Daniel from Beswick. I'm going to help them realise their creative ambitions, and in my conversations with them, they've inspired the digital work that I'm going to create. Something I observed probably on the third week of being on our Discord server was that in their statuses it often said what they were doing, what games they were playing, what apps they were using. Roblox was on there quite a lot. I asked them about why they spent time there and what was it about that space that appealed to them, and they said it was somewhere they had the freedom to create, explore and play in a way that the High Street didn't necessarily offer them. I asked Samuel what he thought about the idea of bringing those two spaces together. He said that a collision of those two spaces would be something he'd be interested in. So I'd never really encountered Roblox before. I kind of knew that it existed. So last week I downloaded the Studio application and started playing around with the tools that it gives you. I really wanted to see if I could use it as a piece of technology to subvert that bland space that they've been describing to me without physically changing that space, using the digital space to do something different with it. In the past, I've been really interested in the idea of pervasive games like those made by studios such as Blast Theory. They involve turning our physical world into the game world. Relatively simple technologies can really change how we perceive that space and behave in that space. So I'm wondering if there's a way I can create a game they can play safely in their local environment that has an impact on their virtual space, and a game that they can play in their virtual space that has an impact on how they perceive their physical space. I'm still really new to the platform, so I'm kind of just laying a bit of a technological groundwork at the moment. What I've been able to do is get the GPS location of my phone into the game so that I can track where I am in physical space and represent it in the virtual space. I tested how this might work in a wider space earlier this week. I turned on a system on my bike ride back from Manchester. Even though my bike wasn't facing the right way in the game, you could see it move from the centre of town back into Levenshulme. I like the idea that spaces you might not ordinarily visit will be unlocked by this platform. Actions that people make in the physical world will have some lasting impact on their digital space. The changes they make in that digital space will change their perception of what's going on in the physical space. What I'd like to do is take traditional games such as King of the Hill and really make it about owning the space that you're in. Challenge the players to reclaim that space both physically and virtually.